Hey guys, what's up? I'm Brian with Fisher's Off-Road, and in today's video, we are going to be answering a question for Shane out of Tennessee. Hey Shane, what's up, brother? We live in Tennessee as well. He wanted to know about buying a used side-by-side UTV. He's still kind of searching the market, but he's frustrated, he's confused, he's overwhelmed, he doesn't know what he's looking for. And when it comes to buying a used vehicle, you have to be really, really careful. Now, we used to own a dealership years ago before we started our television show. And one of the things we did was buy used ATVs, and at that time side-by-sides were just really starting to come onto the scene, so we would go out and buy these things, but you gotta know what you're looking for or you can get burnt pretty quick. And I'm going to show you here today. As a matter of fact, it is perfect timing, Shane, because we have two 2021 Yamaha Wolverine X2 XTRs that we are selling, and there's a gentleman coming here in about an hour to pick up one of these, so I got to get this video done before he gets here. But I want to show you real quick that when you're looking at vehicles, you got to take everything into consideration. A lot of people, they'll look at miles and be like, oh man, those miles are too much. Well, I got to tell you something. I did a video not too long back where we talked about a Polaris RZR that had 150 miles on it that was used by another media outlet that was absolutely trashed. Now, these units we have here today, you're looking at this one over here is at 5,600 miles. This one over here is at 6,300 miles. Now, you would not know it by looking at them. So I'm going to go over a couple things with you here, Shane, show you what to look for and something to keep your eye on so that way you don't get burnt on your used UTV side-by-side purchase. Here we go, brother. All right, whenever it comes to buying a used side-by-side UTV, ATV, whatever it is you're looking at, a lot of the times one of the first signs is going to be the way it looks. You can look at a vehicle and tell if it's been trashed or if it's been taken care of. You'll notice that this vehicle right here, it has 6,300 miles on it, and I mean, it is pretty much pristine. And another bonus to whenever you're buying a really good used UTV or side-by-side or ATV is you get some extras with it. Like up here we have a Boss audio sound bar. We've got a Super ATV flip-up windshield. We've got some Sedona trail saws, square tire setup. This thing is set up and ready to go for somebody that really wants to get out there and do some trail riding but doesn't want to break the bank. So let me just break this down for you. So we bought these side-by-sides almost a year ago now, and we paid $21,000 out the door for each one of them because at the time when we bought them, you couldn't find a side-by-side anywhere, and dealers were getting whatever they wanted. So, you know, and then you get your freight prep setup tax. It's like a yard sale whenever you go into the office to pay for everything. So what we did was we used these side-by-sides for a year, and we are selling them for $13,000. Now, if you look these vehicles up right now, average retail is like 17 grand. Now, obviously, if you look at it on a dealer floor, they're coming in at like 16 or 17 or whatever it is they're selling for right now. But, you know, $13,000 is kind of the bottom of the barrel as far as price on these units. And as far as oil changes, air filter, diff, transmission, everything has been done, and it's been done on schedule with Yamalube. And another bonus to these machines is they also had the extended 4-year warranty that we bought with them, so that's transferable. So all you have to do is take it to your local Yamaha dealer, they look it over, sign some paperwork, and get the new person set up. And then you want to start checking out things like your axles, your CV boots, your bearings, your bushings, your A-arms, your brakes. You want to check out the frame and make sure everything looks good on it. This unit right here, you can see it has some BFG KM3s on it all the way around, square tire setup. Now, that's the thing about buying a used unit. You might go in there and be like, well, you know, it just needs tires. Well, daggone tires, you know, they're almost as much as they are for your vehicle now, sometimes more. So you want to be careful when you get into something like that about, well, does it need tires, and does it need this, and does it need that? You want to check the shock setup and see if they got them really maxed out, and if there's no more travel there, and how it's been set up by the current owner. Another thing that I really kind of stay away from is a lot of modifications. If that thing is modded out, you can bet that you're probably going to have some troubles in the long run if it's all modded out. So those are things that we like to stay away from. Another thing you'll want to make sure you do is get the title or certificate of origin or something. Always make sure you get that, because a lot of guys, they'll buy them, and if they bought them used, they may not want to pay tax on them, so they don't register them, and next thing you know, it gets lost in the system, or the vehicle may even be stolen. So you want to check the VIN number. You want to check out insurance for it to make sure insurance isn't crazy. And you also want to do a search online. You want to make sure that there's not something about that vehicle that everybody hates. Maybe it's hot, it's loud, it rides rough. Those are the kind of things you really want to do your homework on, because you got to first of all figure out what kind of unit you want to have. How are you going to use it? And if you look here, you know, this is a two-seater, pretty simple. I mean, it is like a really strong, solid vehicle. Yamaha has the 10-year belt warranty, so that's a good thing. And those are the kind of things you just really want to do your homework on. So overall, these two units are in great shape, even though they have high miles on them, or, you know, more miles than usual. Another thing you want to check out is you want to get up in that vehicle and you want to check the oil. You want to make sure that everything is good. Now, to check the oil, you want to make sure that it's running, it's up to temperature, and the oil level is where it should be. You know, check the coolant, check the brake fluid. There's a lot of things you want to go over and check and make sure it's good. When you get inside of the vehicle in the cockpit, you want to start checking your lights, your four-wheel drive, diff lock. Does it all work? Does your power steering work? And then once you start looking at your gauges, does everything look right on the gauges? You know, there's just a lot of things that you really got to take into consideration whenever you're buying a used unit. You want to make sure you're not getting ripped off, because guess what, my man? Once you buy this and you pull out, it's yours. And I've had so many horror stories sent to me about people buying units that were junk or trash, and they got them back and realized that something was going out on them. So you want to make sure you try everything. And if they tell you that you cannot drive it or ride it, don't buy it. Because when we owned our dealership, 9 out of 10 times when somebody said, oh no, you can't ride it, my neighbors will get mad, or, you know, we just can't ride around here, they were trying to hide something. Maybe it was a CDI box, maybe it was an axle, maybe it was something in the steering, you know, maybe it was something really worn out, or the belt was shot, or the clutch. If you hear clutch noises, you are definitely going to have to spend some money to get that fixed, especially if you don't have any mechanical abilities. You just want to make sure that you check to see what your local dealer is that can work on this thing, can service this thing. How far out are they on service? A lot of our dealers here in Middle Tennessee are 5 weeks out on service. Is it something that you can fix yourself, or are you going to have to take it to a dealer? If you are at the mercy of a dealer, man, my friend, you can waste a whole riding season waiting on parts and waiting on them to fix it. Well, there you go, Shane. I hope that helps you out with your used vehicle question. And if any of you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. We'll see you guys. Take care. Have a good one.